It is harder to describe inequality in American English. That makes it easier to live with.
This is part 5. Still haven't seen a single source.
These words subtly codify ownership as normal. Words like land, humans, labor are measurable terms.
Yeah, we all use those terms.
In British English, indentured meant bondage, an indentured servant forced to work. That word changes in American English and it becomes labor contracting.
The US, even after independence, had indentured servitude, but it just fell out of fashion because they found it cheaper to own slaves.
We associate indentured almost akin to slavery, whereas if you hear labor contract, you think that's normal free market activity, right? They define the same thing.
American indentured servants basically had somebody else pay for them to come to America, give them food and shelter, to work without a wage for a certain number of years. Whereas labor contract is a job contract. People give you a salary or a wage. They give you benefits. They give you certain hours. In other words, having a job.
In England, it was subject of the crown. In America, it's citizens of the law. It takes the weight and power of the monarchy and transfers it onto the Constitution.
The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Everybody knows that. Nobody thinks that we don't have to follow the law just because authority is in the Constitution instead of a king.
At a time when God-fearing people believed the King of England was put there by religious order, I want the people of these new unions to hold me, the oligarch, and the Constitution, to the same level of spiritual allegiance.
I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that they wanted people to see them as religiously appointed figures. They specifically put into the Constitution separation of church and state.
If you just pretend that you believe that much, what these colonial fathers then do with that is so fucked up.
Your problem is that the founders of the USA didn't want the law to be tied to an official religion whose head was the monarch.
Not done yet. Wait for part 6.